Good morning, Internet, and welcome to probably what is one of our worst days of weather we've had in a really long time. The reason for me saying that, right, I need to move off to the side of the track because there's somebody coming barreling up the hill on an e-bike heading straight past me, thank you. And he's also out enjoying one of our worst days of weather we've had in a really long time. So, what can I tell you? Why do I say it's one of our worst days of weather? Well, you see that over the mountains over there. I don't know if you can, if the lighting is catching it properly. You see those? You see those? Somebody told me this morning they're called clouds. And it's been such a long time since I've seen them in any sort of abundance. I'd half and half forgotten what they were called. But anyway, that's not why you're here. As you probably caught from the, not so much from the thumbnail, but from the title of the video, you probably already know that it is a little bit of story time today, and something that happened out on my bike ride yesterday. But I must just do a little quick update. Yesterday, calorie-wise, was I think it was a 1,800 calorie deficit day, which is quite good. But on the bike ride yesterday, I was feeling really tired, almost like I'd bonked, almost like I'd gotten a hunger knock straight out the gate at the beginning of my bike ride. And suddenly, it clicked. I know why I was so tired on the bike yesterday morning. Because the day before, Thursday, I managed to rack up a calorie deficit of 2,468 calories. And a 2,468 calorie deficit, when you do a 350 calorie breakfast, is not quite enough to carry you through a 1,300 calorie workout, which I discovered by the time I got to the end of that bike ride. I was having a bit of the shakes as far as my hands were concerned, and I needed to get a couple of calories into my system. Anyway, getting back to the topic of today's video. While out on the bike yesterday, I got catcalled. The first time in my life I've been catcalled while out on the bike. And it was coming into the village of Langeron. It was on a particularly wide piece of road. The road was probably, about 5 meters wide at that spot. What's 5 meters? That's 15, 16 foot wide. So, no oncoming traffic, plenty of space for anybody to pass me. I was sticking well to the right-hand side. I could hear a car coming up behind me. So I made sure that I was well to the right, leaving a good, 13, 14 feet of space to overtake, which means that there was more than enough space for the car to overtake at the legal safe distance as it is here in Spain, because there's a legal safe distance for overtaking cyclists, which is monitored by the traffic helicopters. And if they spot a motorist passing a cyclist too close, the motorist gets a ticket. So everybody, especially here in the south of Spain, where lots of professionals are training, tend to respect the distance. So I was well to the side of the road, more than enough space for the motorist to pass. But as the motorist approached me behind me, they started tooting on the hooter, which I thought was really, really strange. So I made sure that I was well to the side, waved them through, and as they were coming past me, they were tooting on the hooter again and whistling out of their window, which caught me completely by surprise, because I'd given them way enough space. So I thought of doing the classic flipping the bird hand gesture, but instead I just did a shrug, like, what the duck are you hooting about? Anyway, it was a black hatchback BMW that passed me, and getting into where the Rio Langeron bridge is, as you're entering the village of Langeron, I saw the same black BMW hatchback parked by the side of the road, and a guy standing next to it frantically waving me to slow down. And I was thinking, again, what the duck? I gave you more than enough space to pass me. Are you now angry that 14 feet of road was not enough for you to go past? Anyway, slow down to a stop, and straight out the bat, the first words out of the guy's mouth were, lo siento, I'm sorry. And then followed up by saying, he saw that the mountain bike, had pink bar grips, and made the assumption that I was a girl, and therefore he was hooting and whistling because that's what he does when he passes girls on a bike. And he was feeling very embarrassed and very sorry that he was wolf whistling me when he thought he was wolf whistling a girl. So I used the opportunity to try and educate him on the fact that no matter who it is never a good idea to hoot and wolf whistle a cyclist when going past, because us cyclists, if a car hits us, we tend to come off a whole lot worse than the car does. And hooting and whistling at a cyclist, especially if they're a novice, might cause them to swerve suddenly, and all of a sudden you've got a serious accident in your hands. Plus, it's really not cool to be objectifying women in that way while driving around in your car. But I think with the type of guy that he was, I don't think my message of that it's not cool to be wolf whistling anybody while driving along in your car quite hit home. So I'm only hoping that the small little smidgen of embarrassment that he felt might lend him to change his ways once he gets a little bit more maturity. However, I'm not exactly sure whether or not with this particular guy something like that is indeed possible. But I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. How would you have handled a situation like that? Would you have become incredibly angry and agitated? Or would you have also tried to educate the meathead in a way that might hopefully at some stage help him to see reason? Let me know in the comments down below. And that, my dear friends, is today's story time. Today's Saturday, heading into Granada later on, and I'm looking forward to watching the Vuelta when it comes to Granada tomorrow on stage 9, a big mountain stage, and I hope to be reporting to you from that. But that's today's story time. Let me know in the comments down below how your week of training, weight loss journey, getting healthy has been going, and I'll speak to you all next time. Cheers.